Yeah, it's the first time I've ever done that video. So I was I didn't know what to do, if I had to hit something or it just stops. And I found out it just stops. Welcome, everybody, to episode 4, the final episode, the season finale of season 1. It's been a fun 3 or 4 shows. We've got a great lineup ahead of you tonight, folks. We got the great Joe Durso from New Jersey. Let me pull this thing up. We got Jake Mathison all the way from Minnesota, and Rick Rose right from here in Niagara Falls. 2 people in Niagara Falls for the first time, myself and Rick. So it's going to be a great show. We really appreciated everybody coming out for the first 3 shows. It's been a lot of fun. We've learned a lot. And for those of you that are coming out for the very first time, the premise of the show is I don't want to say this premise. The reason we're doing the show is this year, unfortunately, Light of Day Canada isn't going to happen. Obviously, during the COVID crisis, a lot of changes occurred. And one of them was our show that was going to happen in November with Canada's own Tim Hicks has been postponed. So instead of doing our big show in November, we started thinking, what are we going to do to keep this, to keep the awareness out there and try to raise some money for Parkinson's and cancer. And, we did a great job back in November. We had Joe Grishecki come down. We had Bobby Mahoney and raised a couple $1,000s for the Niagara Health Foundation and for cancer research. And we were getting ready to roll. We were all excited. The committee was together. We had a couple meetings. We were excited. This was going to be another banner year. We were gonna kill it with Tim Hicks and our lineup of Light of Day folks at the Meridian Center. And unfortunately, we all know what happened. So we decided as a committee, let's do something different. I was doing some shows online with my son. I thought, why don't we try something? And we started batting around ideas. And one of the things that happened was way at the beginning. And these 2 guys right here, they were part of the show way back in 2007. It's been that long. That was Joe Durso and Rick Rose. And when we first started this thing, the very first show at my old high school, the auditorium, NFCBI, we did a songwriter circle. So we had a little songwriter circle. We had Ron LaSalle, Willie Nile, Joe Grishecki. Rick helped us get Ron Sexsmith, and there's Joey D, Joe Durso. And it went really well. And, we did the songwriters, then we had the show after. And it was our first show, and it went really well. The next year, we did a songwriters panel to start the show again. And then several years later, at the Miss Lounge at the Hilton, we did another one. Rick was part of it. You see him over there on the left, Joey D, John Eddy, Joe Grishecki, Willie Nile. So the songwriters thing has always been a part of Light of Day Canada, but we stole that. We stole everything from Asbury Park. After going to Light of Day in Asbury Park for so many years, we saw the great things that they were doing. We borrowed a lot of those great ideas. So we borrowed their ideas because they do the songwriter show. And I got to tell you something. I'm a big songwriter fan. I've said that every week. But every year we would go up on the Friday. We go to the Pony Show and then the Paramount Show and all the shows during the day. And it was great. We'd go from bar to bar and catch shows, Wonder Bar. And we always left on a Sunday because I was always getting back for hockey or something. Well, Evan started playing the Stone Pony. It was a show called Kids Rock on the Sunday. So we stayed. And we got to see the songwriter show on Sunday night. And I got to tell you, it's the best part of Light of Day. It's that Sunday. You sit back, it's nice and relaxing. You get your scotch, you get some food, you sit at McLuhan's, and you listen to some amazing songwriters. They've got 2 sets of songwriters. It's a whole evening. It's a blast. So we decided to do this, and I think it's going really well. And one of the other reasons we wanted to do this, to be honest, is we wanted to showcase some of the great songwriters out there that have helped us along the way. We all know with COVID that the artists aren't playing like they used to. I see that they're starting to a little bit, but the funds aren't coming in, and we wanted to do something for the artists that have helped us along and get their music out there, keep them rocking and rolling, and keep them playing, and hopefully make a few dollars. So tonight you will see their tip jars running along the bottom. If you got a few extra dollars, if you don't mind pitching in, $5-10, anything will help, because these guys they're not touring. They're not doing the shows that they used to. And we all know Spotify don't send you much money. So, they've got to make their money somewhere. And we've always been donating our money to Parkinson's over the years. But lately, the last year or so, I lost my dad to cancer. We have a lot of people that have lost family members to cancer. So we've been giving some of our money to the Niagara Health Foundation, the Walker Family Cancer Clinic, and of course to our friend Steve Ludzik and his foundation for Parkinson's care. So that's where the Light of Day money goes to. So if you get a chance and you can donate there too as well, we really appreciate it. We know times are tough and not everybody's got the money, but if you can spare a few dollars, you can go to lightofdaycanada.com/donate. I also want to thank the Edward J. Freeland Foundation. First of all, they've been a sponsor from year one. They've been a big sponsor. And tonight and last week, they sponsored our artist. And I really, really appreciate it. Dan, I'm sponsored the first two. And we got sponsors for the upcoming season, which we'll go over later. But I really appreciate Jim Davies and his guys for always pitching in for Light of Day. They're big supporters of Light of Day. So if you missed it, this was episode 1. Evan Rotella from Niagara Falls. We had Bobby Mahoney from New Jersey and the big man, Clarence Clemens' son, Jared Clemens. Great show. We had a great time. Episode 2, we had Danny Gochnar, great guitar player, singer, songwriter in his own right, but he's also with Joe Grishecki and the House Rockers. Jason Heath was joined by Jason Federici from the Greedy Souls. That was great. And Taylor Davis from Florida, a new friend of ours, his first Light of Day Canada show. He did step on stage at the Pony with Bobby back on Light of Day 20 in January, which seems like a lifetime ago, but it really wasn't. It was only 5 or 6 months ago. Man, it feels like forever ago. And a fantastic show, our last show with Kent Nicholson from Kingston, Miss Emily from Kingston with a voice of an angel, and our buddy Jacob Daniel from Coburg, Ontario. And of course, tonight's guests round off our first season. Why season 4 ended after 4? I don't know. It was random, but we want to see if it worked. And, we didn't get canceled. So we're going to come up with season 2. So we'll talk about that later on. So without further ado, I want to bring on the people you actually came to see, because I like to talk and I can keep going. So you don't want that all night. You want to hear stories and you want to hear the original songs of these guys. So this next guest, I want to tell you a little bit about this guy. Okay. We've got to meet Jake Mathison over the last, 4 or 5 months. We've gotten to become really, really close friends. Sammy Grasso, our great pal, Light of Day Canada director for many years, he introduced us to Jake because he heard Jake doing Homestead by Joe Grishecki. He heard that, he saw this video, and he happened to run. I don't know the exact story. Maybe Jake will tell it later, but he happened to run into Jake at Light of Day 20. Him and Joe Grishecki and Sammy sat down and chatted, and the rest is history. We all became friends. We started chatting. I know that Danny and Jake are writing a song right now together. Danny Gochnar, they're doing some work together. So we become friends. He's never played a Light of Day show. I know he's been excited. This is his first Light of Day show. It's online, but he knows that there'll be a spot for him at Light of Day eventually when we get rolling. So ladies and gentlemen, from Minnesota, Hockey Town in USA, our good friend, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Jake Mathison. How you doing, Jaker?
Good, Dave. How's it going there?
How's things in Minnesota?
Well, they're as weird as they are everywhere, but we're muddling through it. So
yeah. Well, and Jake, I got to say something. I missed this in the intro, but I have to tell people. I'm a Jackson Brown fan. I'm a Springsteen, Dylan, Waits. I love lyrics. Hyatt, all these guys. I just love. When I heard your songs, you blew me away. I mean, your lyrics are they're brilliant. You write some great songs. You got some Gordon Lightfoot in you. You got some Joe Grishecki in you. So I'm really excited to have you. Thanks for coming out, buddy.
Appreciate that. Thank you for having me. It's such an honor, Dave.
Well, our next guest, now, when we started Light of Day, I have to go way back to 2007. So I brought up this picture earlier. That was the very first Light of Day. And it was Rick Rose and Mark Matthews, who met with me and Mike Minervini. And we said, guys, we don't know what the hell we're doing. And we just agreed to do this show. And it was at our old high school. And they said, don't worry. We'll help you. And they did. And if it wasn't for Rick and Mark Matthews, those first 2 years would have been a disaster. But not only did he help us, but he played and he brought great musicians like Ron Sexsmith and Dean McTaggart, and really helped us out. And I'm forever indebted. But I want to show you this CD. This is one of my favorite CDs. This is Rick's CD, and I'm not just saying it because he's on the show, but this CD is fantastic, and he's got some songs on there. He's going to do one of my favorites tonight. I just love the song. So I appreciate Rick coming out, but I just want to thank him for all he did. So, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, our friend from Niagara Falls, Ontario, Mr. Singer-songwriter himself, Ricky Rose. How you doing, Rick?
Good, Dave. How are you? Thank you for inviting me to this. This is awesome.
There's always an open invitation for Rick Rose. If it wasn't for you, this wouldn't even be happening, pal. So thank you very much. How's things with the school? How things with Niagara?
It's going great. We're going to be opening in a few, September. We're going to follow the school calendar, and we're just, doing all the PPE thing and the acrylic and getting all that ready. And we'll be back at it very soon.
Good. That's what we like to see. We want to see if everybody can just use our heads and all the businesses can do the right thing. We'll get this thing rolling again, right?
Absolutely.
So now, ladies and gentlemen, if I had a drummer, I would do a drum roll. So we call this guy Mr. Light of Day. I call him the hardest working man in rock and roll charity benefit concerts. Nobody does more for people than this man here. Joe Durso has been a mentor to me, and I know with Mike and Sammy Grasso and Gord Hunter. He's great friends with all of us, and he's been an inspiration. He's shown us the ropes over the years. The work that him and Tony Pellegrossi and Gene Mickle and Ron Strike and I missed a bunch of people, but all the Light of Day committee in Asbury Park. We do one show. Well, we used to do 3 actually, but these guys do like 7 days, and there's not to mention Europe. He goes all the way to Europe, and they do he'll tell you, I don't want to get the numbers all mixed up, how many countries and how many places they play in, but they do the amount of bands and the amount of places that they have to organize. And I know how crazy it gets for me, and to have the amount of work that they have to put it on so seamlessly every year and to raise that kind of money. I mean, they raise more in 1 year than we've done in 13. I mean, they get Santa Claus once in a while, but but the fact is the amount of work they do. And this guy's music has become some of my favorite. I've enjoyed Joe's come over. He's done private shows. He's done a house show. He's done Yanks. He's done openings for Light of Day. He's played all the Light of Day shows. He's just Mr. Light of Day. And anytime you need this guy, he's there. Ladies and gentlemen, from the great state of New Jersey, Rockland, New Jersey, by the way, the great Joe Durso. How are you, sir?
Good to see you, David. Thanks for having us. I do have to correct you on one little thing. Rockland County is in New York, where I grew up, on the border, and I live in New Jersey for many years now in Bergen County.
So Bergen is New Jersey.
So when I started the Rockland Bergen Music Festivals, because I lived on the border, and I like to say that it allows me at any given time to be from New York when I want to be. If we're talking Yankees, and thank you for wearing that hat in your dad's memory.
For you.
We're talking Yankees, Broadway, Simon and Garfunkel, Greenwich Village. Okay, I'm from New York. But then if you're talking Sinatra, Bruce, Southside, I'm from New Jersey. I have the best of both worlds.
You got the best of both worlds. And seriously, those two places, when you think of music, the amount of unbelievable music, I mean, from Lou Reed to Tom Waits to, oh my God, it's endless. You already mentioned Frank Sinatra, and there's some guy named Bon Jovi that lives out there. He's pretty good.
That's right.
So
I forget about him. Yeah.
He's done pretty good too. So appreciate you guys all coming on. And yes, Joe, I wore this. Now I got to tell a quick story before I get off, because it's a million stories when I see Joe Durso, right? I mean, we could talk all night, but so years and years ago now, Joe and I we always did this when it came to the Red Sox and the Yankees, right? I'm a Red Sox fan, and not too many people. Well, in fact, Jake said, "Why are you wearing that? Aren't you a Red Sox fan?" I said, there's a lot of history behind it." But the one year I made Joe a bet that if the Red Sox won, he would have to step on stage at the Greg Fruin Theater with a Red Sox hat on. Remember? And didn't we wrap you in a cape?
It was the Red Sox flag, I thought.
But you also had the hat on. You had my hat on.
And was it a Yankee flag or was it a Red Sox flag too?
I don't remember.
I think it was a Yankee flag with a Red Sox hat. Yes.
And it was. I got that picture.
And I got to tell you, I caught some grief from my childhood best friend about what are you doing with that hat on? I'm like, I had to honor a bet.
The things you do for charity, Joe Durso, I'll tell you. So listen, guys, we've been through this. We've done the rehearsals. You guys know the drill. For the folks that are watching, maybe for the first time, we got a great audience tonight. what we do, folks, is we're gonna do the songwriter circle like you would see if you were at a theater or in a bar. It's going to be Jake's going to be up first, then Rick, then Joe. We're going to do 2 rounds, and then we'll come back on and we'll chat a little bit, and then we'll do 2 more rounds. So each of them got 4 songs. They're all originals. They'll tell a little story. We had a great rehearsal. So in the last show went perfect. Although, if anybody watched the show, Satan showed up at some point. I don't know what happened there. So not sure if he's going to show up again, but right in the middle of Emily's song, or it was Tom. It might have been Tom Waits. We're not sure. Could have been Tom Waits. Somebody showed up. So here's to a good show, boys. Thanks for doing this. I'm going to leave, turn it over to the talented people. Good night. We'll see you in a couple songs. Hey, you're in charge, Joe.
All right. So I want to, before I hand it off to Jake, I just want to thank Dave again for doing this. As I said on the little promo, that Light of Day Canada has been the brother sister to Light of Day New Jersey, and especially this year, with COVID, and we've already canceled Light of Day Europe, which would have been 16 shows in 10 countries coming up. Usually Thanksgiving night, U.S. Thanksgiving into mid-December. And the reality is we're still not quite sure about Light of Day January in New Jersey. Myself and our executive director, Tony Pellegrossi, and Gene Mickle, the president of the board, will be meeting soon to discuss that. We've thrown some ideas around. So having this series and what Dave's done here has been really great. And, I miss going to some of my fondest memories have been Light of Day Canada shows, and then the after parties at Yanks, which were some of them are legendary. And what happens, and Rick Rose, being another veteran musician, could add to this. I couldn't tell you what was year 3 and what was year 11 because they just meld together after a while, but they're always fun. So, with that being said, it's great to have a new friend in Light of Day world, Jake Mathison from Minneapolis. And Jake, a couple of good songwriters come out of Minneapolis, so I don't want to put any pressure on you, kid, but time to hand it off to you, ladies and gentlemen.
Thanks, Joe. Hey guys, I am super excited to be playing my first Light of Day show. One of the great things about playing a show like this is we get to kind of talk about the songwriting process and talk about how the song came about. And the song I'm going to start with tonight actually has a lot to do with the place where Light of Day was born, Asbury Park, New Jersey. So I was lucky enough. I grew up a Springsteen fan. I grew up a Southside Johnny fan. I grew up with the sounds of the Jersey Shore my whole life since I was in diapers. All I wanted to do my whole life was move out to New Jersey. And finally in 2010, my wife and I were able to do that. And she taught at Rutgers for a number of years while we lived in Piscataway. And we were about 20 minutes from Freehold and 40 minutes from Asbury Park, and just had the time of my life. And when we moved back to Minnesota, it struck me just how much I missed the community out there, how much I missed the music community in Asbury Park, the shows at the Pony and the Wonder Bar, just everything about the boardwalk. And, if you're watching this show and you're a Light of Day fan, I'm guessing that just like me, Asbury Park is kind of a sacred place for you. So I wrote this song one night, just thinking about how much I missed it. And, it's really a song just about longing to be someplace when you're not in that place. So it's called I Left My Heart in Asbury Park, and it's for Asbury Park and everybody that has made Asbury Park what it is: Bruce Springsteen, Southside Johnny, Joe D'Urso, Bobby Mahoney, great, another Light of Dayer who's out in Jersey doing it. So this goes out to everybody in Asbury Park. We got to do a little something here. We got to check a box, make sure we sound good. Disable that. All right. Give it a whirl. Try to turn around, but no, I'm in it too deep. shipwreck, sinking like a brick, and I'm down again. I'm out of luck, it sucks, I don't know where to run or when to begin. You spin that roulette wheel a million times and never win. Phantoms of the funhouse call as the carousel begins. They all dance in convention hall when the fog starts rolling in. I left my heart in Asbury Park. It's buried down there. I don't know if I'll ever get back, but my soul will always live there. Left my heart in Asbury Park. Each passing day I'm drifting further from the shore. Didn't think it'd be the end of me, but I was never really sure. Everywhere I go, I just keep weathering the storm. Oh, Madam Marie, can you tell me will I be born? 'Cause I left my heart in Asbury Park. It's buried down there. I don't know if I'll ever get back, but my soul will always live there. I left my heart. I left my heart. I left my heart in Asbury Park. Now I'm going to turn it over to the king of Niagara, Rick Rose.
Thanks, Jake. Or is Joey D going to come up and say a few words, or do I just?
Oh, you just go ahead. You just go ahead.
Oh. All right, folks. Welcome to Light of Day Canada. This song here is off the CD I recorded in Nashville that Dave was showing earlier, and it was inspired by 3rd Street, Niagara Falls, New York. And all us Niagara folks remember those days. And it was just, the imagery in this song. You'll see the characters and the images and everything. And it's called Saturday Night in a Sunset Town. Just got to check something here. Saturday night in a sunset town, soar like eagles through the crack of dawn. Dance all night, have some fun. Saturday night in a sunset town. I took a ride on the old dirt road where the wild grass grows. The moon was shining like a brand new diamond as the north wind's blowing. At the county fair, old folks would stare, check out what was wearing. So I lit up a smoke, I said, hey folks, we're from the country, just having some fun. Saturday night in a sunset town, soar like eagles to the crack of dawn. Dance all night, have some fun. Saturday night in a sunset town. Certain magic in the air, 'cause people here really care. We'll have a couple of Milwaukee's best, the coldest ones, I guess. There was a marble cloud float above this bar, and the Harleys were parked outside. I'd say this beer tastes great, this town feels great. No more running that concrete jungle race. Saturday night in a sunset town, so like eagles till the crack of dawn. It's all night, have some fun. Saturday night in a sunset town. The local band plays our song as we move on the floor. There ain't no pretenders down here, it's the real thing, you know. They look at life with a different point of view. The simple things, they mean a lot. They always say hello, say good night. We'll see you all here next Saturday night. Saturday night in a sunset town. You're like eagles till the crack of dawn. Dance all night, have some fun. Saturday night in a sunset town. Saturday night in a sunset town. Saturday night in a sunset town. Thank you. Bringing in Joe Durso from New Jersey.
Hey, thanks, Rick. Before I jump into this first song, I know Dave said it earlier. I want to send a big thanks out to Rick Rose. I think the first year we did that first show, I think Rick even supplied the sound system. I know he's done it multiple times on some of the smaller events, but that first one was myself and Rick and Joe Grishecki and Ron LaSalle and Ron Sexsmith. I think that was the first show total. There's a picture. And Willie Nile, my brother Willie. I forgot Willie was there too. So thank you, Rick, for everything you've done. And I'm just going to switch over my microphone here as I kick in on this first song, keep our audio working properly. And okay. And then we go back to the camera. Hello. All right. So this is a song. I think it's appropriate that we're out of the hibernation and back in Canada. So it's called Welcome Home. It's been a while since I've seen you. Heard you went west and what you had to do. Your brother says you're back in town. Lucky for you, there's still some jobs around. He says you're feeling strange, wondering what people would say. You never cared then, why start now? Me for one, I'm glad you're back in town. And welcome home, my friend. Good to see you back here again. Welcome home, my friend. Welcome home. It seems no matter where you roam, you always carry that childlike glow. From where you come is a safer place than wherever you may roam. But that doesn't change your curious heart. You've been that way right from the start. So tonight the beers are on me. Relax for a while, let life be. And welcome home, my friend. Good to see you back here again. Welcome home, my friend, welcome home. Well, people around here, they like to talk a lot. People gonna do what they do, yeah. say what they say. Worry about it some other day. Yeah, tonight the drinks are on me. Relax for a while and let life be. And welcome home, my friend. Good to see you back here again. Welcome home, my friend. Welcome home, my friend. Good to see you back here again. Welcome home, my friend. Welcome home. So that was Welcome Home. And let me just switch over the mic here before I bring back Jake. I got to unclick something there. There we go. And, you know, I always think coming from this area, you know, we have some heavy hitters of songwriters, obviously Bruce and Little Steven and Bon Jovi and, you know, and thousands of others out of the state of New Jersey. But, you know, Jake, you got some, you got Paul Westerberg, Prince, Bob Dylan. I mean, Minnesota's punching out of its weight class, I think, up there. So hearing some of your stuff, it's nice to see. I hear some the Jersey stuff in you, and I hear some of that, the girl from the North Country, Great White, you know, cold weather songs coming out of you too. So once again, everyone, Jake Mathison.
Thanks a lot, Joe. That was an awesome song. Yeah, it's kind of interesting. As far as Bob Dylan goes, I actually grew up in a town that's about 100 miles, maybe 2 hours south of where Bob Dylan grew up in Hibbing, Minnesota. So I've made a couple pilgrimages up there to see the house that he lived in. And certainly Bob's been a huge influence on me and my songwriting. But also one of the interesting things that sometimes we take inspiration from when we're writing, just like the last song I played, Asbury Park are the places we're from or the places we like and we love. And it's been interesting to growing up in Minnesota, growing up in a border state. I've told Dave this before and Sam, I always felt, you know, as Canadian as could be. So it's interesting to be playing Light of Day Canada. Minnesota is split by Manitoba and Ontario. We've got Thunder Bay just up past Duluth, and we've got Winnipeg on the western side. A lot of great songwriters came out of Winnipeg. Neil Young, Randy Bachman, Burton Cummings, and Joni Mitchell played there too. So those are also a lot of great influences for me. But yeah, and Canada has always been kind of a source of inspiration for me. And so it's really cool to be playing a Light of Day Canada show, and all the people I've gotten to meet up in Canada through Light of Day have just been amazing and so supportive. And so I kind of want to send this one out to them. This is a song I wrote just kind of imagining the life less traveled, not the life I chose, but I put a character up in Canada just kind of wandering through life and came up with this song. So it's called Alaska on My Mind. I'm going to play it.
Did you click your button? You're in trouble. You're in trouble. I got you.
This is the funny thing. We have to also be tech gurus in addition to performers here, which I'm not. From my way to Brandon, Manitoba, up from Fergus Falls in Minnesota. Here we go again, you think I'd wear my welcome pin. See, I've always had Alaska on my mind. There's a little girl in Saskatoon, say she's got whose jaw there sits a bar. Take a look, it's where I got this scar. Roberta, she was married and things got pretty hairy. I only had Alaska on my mind. Took a detour up to Yellowknife, where I backed back to backtracked east. Lost myself in cold solitude. Desolation wrecked me. Conversations hard to find. I cut my soul down to the bone one night. Bled my hands right chopping pine. But I only had Alaska on my mind. Little town, I know I met my wife. They tell me she's the goddess of the northern lights. I'm always thinking of her, I guess that means I love her. But I'll always have Alaska on my mind. Yeah, I'll always have Alaska on. I'll always have Alaska on. I'll always have Alaska on my mind. Now we're back to Rick Rose in Niagara.
That was fantastic, Jake. Awesome song. It's got the little vibe of that. By the time I get to Phoenix, the narrative of it, that's awesome. Awesome song. This next song, many people locally are familiar with it. Inspired by my dad and I and my mom, we took a train ride to Yonkers, New York for a family function. Actually, my dad's cousin passed away, and then we had, with a blizzard, snowstorm, we had, many hours stuck on a train, and we had to get there, and we just talked and what the father and son do, and it was fantastic, and this song came out of it. I told you, Dad, the road I chose, it ain't easy.
You got to do your body. Start over. It's okay. This is a great song. You got to start from the beginning.
Yes, I forgot to click. Told you, Dad, the road I chose, it ain't easy. Being a music man will toughen the soul. There's a thin line between dreams and reality. But one day I will erase that line. Son, I never doubted your aspirations, but it's just so hard for a dad to understand. To me, you're still the kid that calls me Papa, but I take it you're becoming like your old man. On the train from Buffalo to Yonkers. We talk so much that our throats got dry. Father and son from Buffalo to Yonkers. I'd like to thank you, Dad, for the greatest train ride. I told you, Dad, yes, I always listened, but it might have seemed like I was drifting away. The common thread that always sparked our conversation was to be a self-made man and do the best you can. You know, son, I can still remember my papa, how he looked at me is how I look at you. I left for America when I was 20, and my papa said, son, don't be like your old man. On the train from Buffalo to Yonkers, we talked so much till our throats got dry. Father and son, the Buffalo to Yonkers. I like to thank you, Dad, for the greatest train ride. I like to thank you, Dad, for the greatest train ride. Thank you very much. Back to Joe Durso, live from New Jersey.
That was awesome, Rick. That was awesome. It was funny as you were singing that song about fathers and sons. My son was just walking through the other room, waving goodbye as he's going out the door for the night with his friends. So that was very apropos. I'm going to try this new song, something I just wrote recently, and I've never played before. I knew I was going to play a couple of songs that had been in my catalog for many years. But this is a song called Step Right Up. I started writing it in Ortley Beach a couple of weeks ago and just finished it 2 or 3 days ago. I think it's finished. I ran up to Maine for 2 days to visit a childhood friend of mine. My childhood best friend had hung out there for a couple of days and ate some lobsters, which was kind of nice. Just trying to keep yourself sane during this whole, pandemic. Anyway, so when we were driving into Ortley Beach, my wife, my kids, we took a week. We went down there. We have friends who own a house down there, and they hooked us up. And you get off exit 82, which is Toms River, Seaside Heights, depending how you make the turn. And as you come over the last part before you get to Seaside Heights, if you make a right, or Ortley Beach and Mavalette, if you make the left, there's this body of water you go over. And all of a sudden, this flood of memories started coming back to me when I was in high school up here in Rockland County. We would take a school bus, the class school trip, leave 8 o'clock in the morning, get to Seaside Heights at 10, and then we'd leave at 8 o'clock at night, and they would just leave us there on the boardwalk and the beach, make sure we weren't drinking if they could and whatnot. But and I always wanted to, and I never got the chance, but I always wanted to spend one summer working on the boardwalk in one of those little booths, where you're throwing darts for balloons, or you're winning panda bears, or, throwing softballs to knock over milk cartons or milk cans. And that was always kind of a fantasy I had, and I forgot about it until I was driving at that moment. It came flooding back to me. And I actually took a walk from Ortley Beach all the way down to the sawmill in Seaside Heights and kind of re-stepped my steps, which is now 40 years ago. I'm 56 now, so I was 16. And boy, where did that time go? So here we go. It's called Step Right Up. It's the first time. I'm not sure yet if this is a Stone Caravan song or an acoustic excursion song, but I do wish that Danny Federici was still alive. On our second record, he had this sound. I think Bruce once said he made the boardwalk come to life. So I'll send this one out first time to Danny.
Don't forget your box.
Oh, my box. Thank you. Thank you. David Teller pops up like a guardian angel on your shoulder. There we go. Okay. Step right up, step right up. 3, 4 $1, come try your luck. You can't be more than 17. Last night I turned 16. Last night I was 16. Step right up, step right up. Take a chance on a summer romance. I can tell by your eyes you've been hurt by other guys like me, but they're not like me. No, they're not like me. Step right up, step right up. Let's make a summer memory, so when you're older and the breeze blows through your window, you will smile, you will smile, you will smile. Step right up, step right up, step right up. Step right up, step right up. 3 for $1, take a chance on a summer romance, and take a chance on me. Take a chance on me. Step right up, take a chance. Step right up, take a chance on me. Step right up, take a chance. Step right up, take a chance on me. Step right up, step right up, step right up, step right up, step right up. So that was the debut of Step Right Up.
All right, you got to check off that little box.
I will check off my little box now.
Now, listen, I want to say something. Again, I've said this over and over. I'm a big fan of lyrics, and it's because I've always loved writers who can paint a picture and take you somewhere. I mean, I used to come home after I would DJ, and I would hook up my equipment and put on Tom Waits and grab a drink and sit back, turn the lights out. It was like watching a movie because he just painted a picture. And I've always liked that about. And you guys, it's exactly what you just did. I'm sitting back here having a drink. Joe, you took me back to Maple Leaf Village. I did the Step Right Up. I used to work the water gun game right at the entrance. and they had to come shoot the little water and watch the frog go all the way up, and then boom, they would win a prize. And I worked down in Maple Leaf Village. Anybody from Niagara watching? I know Rick remembers Maple Leaf Village. So, but I want to tell you, it wasn't that great. Like,
No.
you weren't missing anything. It was a lot of, it was fun for a day or two.
I think the romanticism of living down the Jersey Shore for a whole summer.
Okay, yeah. Well, Niagara Falls had that kind of feel, that carnival town feel, right? And then Rick made me cry. That song still brings tears to my eye. From on the road from Buffalo to Yonkers, that whole thing, talking to your dad and passing it on to your son, and that I love that. I've always loved that song. I've always requested it, but it has more meaning to me now than it ever did. And Jake, Asbury Park, a couple people commented. Now I want to say something. Evan's doing the comments. He had to reboot the computer because none of the comments were coming up. He's panicked. He's running in here. We're in two different rooms. Dad, so we might have missed some people's comments, but a lot of people were saying, "Wow, this is taking me back to Asbury Park." The imagery that you bring out in that song is just brilliant. You guys are all phenomenal songwriters. It's an honor I'm in my music room sitting back having a scotch listening to this great music. So you guys are doing a wonderful job, except you're not clicking the damn button. Well, kidding.
Well, remember,
nobody wants to see me. They don't want me popping up and I don't know if it's the angel or the devil, Joe, but right. The only reason I come up in between is I want to mention once again, guys, people that are watching, if you get a chance, there's Jake's tip jar, paypal.me, Jake Mathison. If you got a few bucks, Joe's tip jar over at Venmo, Joe Durso, and Rick's over at paypal.me, Rick Rose 1234. If you get a chance, if you can drop a couple dollars, that'd be fantastic. Like I said, it's been a rough go for these guys for the last 5 months, as it has been for a lot of people, but I think even more so for venues and musicians. So if you could, that'd be great. And I want to thank, I'll bring this up. I want to thank our sponsor tonight who are taking care of the artists. We wanted to make sure that this wasn't a freebie. They do enough of that. It's our way of hopefully paying back. So thank you to the Edward J. Freeland Foundation for doing that for us. I really, really appreciate it. And again, if you get a chance and you have a couple dollars and you want to help out, lightofdaycanada.com/donate. I will tell you, we've got a couple things, and hopefully you guys will all be a part of it. We got some things coming up that we want to try, but it's going to be a rough year for Light of Day Canada. We don't make the money that Light of Day New Jersey makes. Not that it's easy for you guys, but I know in talking to Joe, they had a great year last year, and we did. We haven't in the last couple of years. It's been slow. We went on hiatus for a year due to some circumstances. So if you can, that'd be great. Just head on over to lightofdaycanada.com/donate, and if you can drop a tip into these guys' tip jars, that'd be great. Now I'm out of here again. So Joe, you're back in charge, but I will pop this face in every once in a while if we don't click that little button. You got to be technicians, as Jake said. We'll see you guys soon. Have fun.
All right. Thank you, Dave. So we're going to start round two. So we'll do two more go rounds, so 2 songs more each. And I'm going to hand it off once again to our new friend from Minnesota, Jake Mathison.
Thanks, Joe. Appreciate that. So I guess where we're going next, the song I'm going to play is called Wildflowers. I've had it out on my Facebook page, Jake Mathison Music. Feel free to like that if a lot of this stuff is on there. I'm a big fan of folk storytelling. I love story songs. I love great storytellers like Bruce, like Dylan, Neil Young. People who like to paint a picture, as Dave said. But one of really my favorite songwriters, and one of, I think, is probably the most underrated songwriters, would be fellow Light of Dayer, Joe Grishecki. Just a huge fan of what Joe has done throughout his career, and doesn't get enough credit for it. Just some amazing albums, American Babylon, Fingerprints, Somewhere East of Eden. Just amazing songs, and Joe Grishecki's songs have really inspired me from time to time to kind of look at songwriting from the perspective of what is this about? What am I trying to say here? What is the story I'm trying to tell? And does it have a deeper meaning than just I Want to Hold Your Hand from the Beatles. And there's nothing wrong with I Want to Hold Your Hand. It's a great catchy pop song, but I've always maintained that I want my songs and my story songs specifically to be about something, and Joe's been a big inspiration there. And this song kind of has a very American Babylon feel to it. It's set at the turn of the century. I've been doing some interesting turn of the century songs, turn of the 20th century, the late 1800s, early 1900s, and just kind of tracing what life experiences were like then and how much they have or really haven't changed. And this song is basically a song about income inequality, equity in the world. And it's about the have-nots stepping on, or the haves stepping on the have-nots and trying to bleed that turn up for all it's worth. And it was going on back then, and it's going on now. So I'm going to check the box and try and play it for you. All right, so this is called Wildflowers. In the Panhandle's great wheat fields, that's where I made my stand. Had enough of my bad luck and followed the plan. This old farm and this old dream were never what they seemed. Now the dust is strewn like the night stars that burn when they convene. How well the wildflowers grow. Sometimes I see them and I know someday I won't be alone. Now where the wildflowers grow. The Panhandle's great wheat fields, that's where I lost my way. Had enough of poison stuff and drinking life away. The reaper's wraith, the sickle blade that tore away my faith. Took my wife and my baby girl, will she be tender day? How well the wildflowers grow. Sometimes I see them and I know that someday I won't be alone. Now where the wildflowers grow. What the great wheat barons did to me, I'll never understand. Stole it all just to watch me fall. They're a plague upon this land. They took my life, so I take my knife and cut them where they stand. I'll probably die, but at least I tried to make a better land. How well the wildflowers grow. Sometimes I see them and I know that someday I won't be alone. Now where the wildflowers grow. Now where the wildflowers grow. Now where the wildflowers grow. Now we're heading back to you, Rick. What do you got for us now?
Great job, Jake. This song, yeah, I'm just checking this blog. This next song is a co-write, one of my early co-writes that I did in Nashville when I worked for Sony Music many years ago. My job there was I was a staff writer at Sony Tree Music Publishing, and this was co-written with Misha Sheridan. He was with BMG at the time, and we were told by our song pluggers you got to write commercial songs with tasteful lyrics, and this is one of the songs that we came up with, and it did get cut by a Canadian band called Doc Walker. They were on Universal, and they did a great version. It's on their debut album, and I'll play you an acoustic version of it. It's called "Dreamin' Out Loud." Taste of your lips, the sting of the rain, the heat of your breath as you say my name. Red of rose, beat of your heart, touch of your hand. I know, I swear, I won't, I need. Inside my mind, it seems so real. Guess I was just dreaming out loud. I guess I was just dreaming out loud. And until I find a way to reach your heart somehow, I get through each waking day the only way that I know how. I guess I was just dreaming out loud. I open my eyes and you disappear. I know what I'd say if I had you here. I tell you the truth, the secrets I keep, how you make me feel. I know, I swear, I want, I need. Inside my mind that seems so real. Guess I was just dreaming out loud. Guess I was just dreaming out loud. And until I find a way, reach your heart somehow, I get through each working day the only way that I know how. I guess I was just dreaming out loud. Guess I was just dreaming out loud. I was dreaming out loud. I was dreaming out loud. I was dreaming out loud.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, nice one, Ricky. Nice one. I'm just gonna adjust this a little bit. I'm gonna do this one. Like on July 24th was 5 years ago that we lost our dear brother, Mr. Lou. I know Dave's gonna talk a little bit about that later, or yeah, there it is. That's almost the mean Lou face there. It's the scare, Lou had literally thousands of faces. And it wasn't until after, he passed away 5 years ago that I saw so many of these photos and videos. I had no idea what was going on behind me. All I know is that people loved him as I did and enjoyed his energy. And he just always wanted to make sure everyone had a great time. And he was a great partner on stage. So I'm going to send this one out to him. Let me just click my mic here. And this is a song that he joined me on many times called Let It Go, which I guess we all need now. All the senseless meaning numbers fill up your head. You're working a job that's still a real dead end. Do you need someone to hold the knot to you? Can you still tell the difference between the two? Well, sometimes you gotta let it go. Sometimes you gotta let it show. Don't worry about nothing. Don't worry about you. Sometimes you gotta let it go. Oh yeah. All the ghosts and silhouettes still running round your head. You're still trying to think about everyone you never really had the time to say. Do you need someone to be your only friend? Do you think about your life and its mortal end? Well, sometimes you gotta let it go. Sometimes you gotta let it show. Don't worry about nothing. Don't worry about you. Sometimes you gotta let it go. Well, just throw your thoughts to the coming wind. See if they all come on now, back again. It's a one-way ticket on a one-way ride. Sit right back, enjoy your only ride. It's your only ride that you remember. And this is the part of the song where I'd always ask people to think about something that's bugging them. And Lil would help and make people scream from the bottom of their toes. So I know you're all just sitting home in front of your computers there. But in the spirit of Mr. Lou, feel free to yell. Feel free to get it off your chest. Oh, let it go.
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 Let it go. Sometimes you gotta let it go. Sometimes you gotta let it show. Don't you worry about nothing. You don't worry about you. Sometimes you gotta let it go. Louis loves you. All right, let me shut off that mic here, and I'm going to switch this over to our boy Jake, and I'll bring him back in there. Disabled. There we go. All right, I'm getting the hang of this. All right. So a song of stress release to Jake, who is coming in here with some great, good, new energy, and we appreciate that, Jake. Thanks very much, Jake Mathison.
Thanks, Joe. This is just absolutely amazing. That was awesome. Sometimes I think I need to pinch myself to sit here and think I'm playing with Joe Durso and Rick Rose, and these guys are legends. And it's just and that's kind of just part of what Light of Day is. And Dave's mentioned it a number of times through this series and through these shows, how Light of Day is a family. And you couldn't pick a better family and a better musical family. So I just want to say thank you so much from the bottom of my heart for having me on. And there's some people I need to give a little shout out to, and one of them just popped up there on the screen. The great Danny Gochner, who has been an absolute inspiration, one of my favorite songwriters, and he's been helping me out, and we've been working on some stuff together, some songs and some studio stuff with Joe Monroe, and it's going to be phenomenal. And when you hear it, I'm just so excited for you to hear it. So I gotta thank those two guys, and then everybody at Light of Day, Dave for having me on, and Sam Grasso again. I'll mention, if not for Sam, I probably wouldn't be here right now. So, you know, all it takes is the kindness of others sometimes to get you where you want to go. And I'm so excited to be part of the Light of Day family. So with that said, I'm going to end my set on a song called Suicide Hill. It's probably my favorite song that I've ever written. It's another a piece of folk storytelling, and it's an immigrant song. It's a dirge. Everybody came to America. Well, almost everybody came to America from somewhere, and I think it's something that from somewhere else, and I think it's something we've forgotten as Americans. And I think you can see that played out in bad policy and the like. And I think it's something we really need to reflect on and look at. And so I kind of wrote this song for that reason. Bruce Springsteen has a great line in American Land that goes something to the effect of they died to get here 100 years ago, and they're still dying now. And the first time I heard that, it just really sunk into my core, how true that is. There are still people in this day and age in 2020 dying to get here to provide a better life for themselves and in most cases their family. So I wrote this up when I was living in New Jersey. I was living in Piscataway. I can't remember if I just come back from a show at the Pony or something like that. I remember it was a really hot New Jersey night, which is very humid, very typical in the summer. And I ended up writing this song. And it's one of those songs. Sometimes songs take months, weeks, months, years. I've had songs I've been working on for a decade. But this one just poured out of me in like 20 minutes. And sometimes I find that those are my favorite things that I've ever done. So I'm not going to forget to click the box. There's been a lot of talk about boxes on this show. We're going to do that here real quick. Click the box. Just check the microphone settings real quick. This is a folk song called Suicide Hill. Please don't write me, Josephina. I got nothing left to give. This is my last letter. I hope you'll find the will to live. It was all a bag of lies. Here I sleep on a bed of stone. This dollar bill is my life savings. It is everything I own. From the dirt road farms to the tenement slums, each night they pray for the morning to come. Swear you're not still thinking of me back home at your windowsill. 'Cause tonight I'll walk your suicide hill. They locked us in again. When the working day was done, I watched the boss man beat a young girl with the barrel of a gun. And I can't recall the last time I had a piece of bread I think back to Uncle Lachlan on those misty Irish moors when salvation or starvation was a coin tossed to the Lord. Hear these gaslights burn like hellfire, the sulfur stings your eyes. The streets have flesh for filament, the blood it never dries. But from the dirt road farms to the tenement slums, each night they pray for the morning to come. So you're not still thinking of me back home at your windowsill, just a night out wild on Suicide Hill. Yeah, the night out wild on Suicide Hill. Yeah, the night out wild on Suicide Hill.
Fantastic song, Jake.
Thanks, Rick. We're going back to you for one more.
Yep. Let me just do that. Click the box. Oh yeah, I got to tell a little story. Well, this song here is probably one of the. I was hanging out in New York City doing my songwriting before I headed to Nashville, and my manager at the time, D. Anthony, was very active in the. He got into more publishing than he did with managing bands. He managed me. He was kind of semi-retirement, but he took me under his wing. And I got the script for this one movie called Rude Awakening, which Aaron Russo was producing. He's Bette Midler's husband, manager. And then they sent me the script, and the music supervisor called me, and I ended up having two huge, crazy co-writers on this track with me. Paul Rothschild, who was the producer of The Doors and Janis Joplin and many others, and Jim Steinman, that did Meatloaf and many others, Beat It Bad Out of Hell. So the three of us wrote this song. Mind you, there's other parts to it that I don't do it in the acoustic version, but just give you an idea of what the song was in the movie. It's called Rude Awakening, and it was performed by Bill Medley of the Righteous Brothers. Trying to catch the moon, trying to count the stars, trying to run as fast as I can through the darkest hours. I hear a lot of laughter, and I've seen a lot of pain. Welcome to the changes, baby. Welcome to the real world. I said, what have they done? And where have they gone? Why have they changed in the concrete jungle? I opened my eyes to a rude awakening. Holding on to memories, holding on to time, holding on to what we had, but it just seemed to slip away. I've seen the laughter, I've seen those wounded eyes. Welcome to the changes, baby. Welcome to the real world. I said, what have they done? yeah. Where have they gone? And why have they changed in the concrete jungle? I open my eyes to a rude awakening. To a rude awakening. Thank you. Bring it back to Joe Terso.
Dang, that was great, Rick. This is the last song of the evening, and I just want to tell a funny story. And Rick and I have talked about this. You know, it's funny how circles in life go. But D. Anthony, who managed Rick, was like best friends with legendary music business agent by the name of Frank Barcelona, who I worked for as a kid. I started as a kid, 22 to 32. And it was in Frank's office that I went and worked for Barry Bell, and I got a chance to work on the Springsteen and the Tom Petty tours and U2 and Bon Jovi. And it was really my grad school learning about the music business and watching great artists up close. I mean, that was, I can't even, you can't put a price tag on it. And I look back now and think it was someone else's life sometimes. But D. Anthony would come around, and I was an assistant, which was a nice word for, at the time, secretary. I was typing contracts, and D comes up, and he, as he would do every Christmas, with all these Godiva boxes of Godiva chocolates, and he'd walk it out and he'd hand it to all the assistants, who at that time in the office were female. And he kind of came to my office and my desk and kind of looked at me. And there was that split second. He's an older Italian guy, and he wasn't sure what to do. And I just looked at him and said, "I love chocolates," which made him laugh. And then he dropped the box off. And he always he remembered that every time he would visit. So anyway, let me wrap up with this song. We all wouldn't be here without a gentleman by the name of Bob Benjamin. Bob started Light of Day after he was diagnosed with Parkinson's. And he, in the words of one of my all-time heroes, Harry Chapin, Bob decided not to just take it lying down, but he decided to do something. When in doubt, do something. And Bob certainly did. And I don't think he ever could have imagined what this turned into. He's having some tough days, like a lot of our friends with Parkinson's are, as it progresses and time goes by. And we hope there's better medications and certainly a cure. We've been saying just around the corner, and we do believe that. When we started this, we thought we were 10 years away, and now we're 20 years in. And we've made so many friends around the world who have Parkinson's, and but it really started with Bob. Our relationship started, we were putting out my records together in the mid-90s, and then about 2000 became my manager as well, which is about the time we started Light of Day. And I've been there from the start, along with Tony Pellegrossi and a few other artists, Joe Grishecki, who Bob has managed as well. So I send this to Bob, and I don't usually sing the song sitting down, but I will do my best here. Everybody's searching for a perfect gift. I'm not sure it even exists, but the one thing that I know down to my core, that the perfect gift isn't found in a store. Hold on, hold on. Just when you had enough, Just when you're giving up, you've got to hold on. People will laugh and sneer off to the side. The true love and compassion's just a line. But I've seen love conquer more than fail. I've seen hearts that were frozen, freed from jail. You gotta hold on. Hold on. Just when you had enough, just when you're giving up, you've got to hold on. Every now and then you reach for the light, but just as you touch it, it slips from sight. You gotta hold your ground, don't lose your mind. And in due time, that light you'll find. You gotta hold on. Hold on. Just when you had enough, just when you're giving up, you've got to hold on. You gotta hold on. Hold on. Just when you had enough, and when you're giving up, you've got to hold on.
Oh my God, you crushed that.
It was awesome.
Joe, I gotta say, that song has a lot of different meanings to me, and the way you guys did that in New Jersey, Light of Day 20 was just. I was at the Paramount, and the chill that ran up my back was just unbelievable. Like the whole place was silent, and it just zoomed right in on you. It's just a gorgeous song.
Thank you, Dave. It was funny. When I was up in Maine a couple of days ago, I was hanging out, having a whiskey there on the beach with my childhood best friend, and that topic of that song came up, and I said, he hadn't seen the video from the Paramount, and I said, Vinny Lopez and Ben Arnold sang it with me, and when I recorded, it was Vinny Lopez and Greg Likens from Stone Caravan, but Ben had joined us, and I walked off stage, and Bruce was standing on the side of the stage. He had been out front listening and went to the side, and he said, looked at me, he goes, "Hey, that sounded great song." and I looked at it. I looked at him dead in the eye, and I go, "I had good mentors."
Well, coming from Bruce,
yeah,
that's amazing. But it was funny because Evan had to do a set. Do you guys all have that unchecked? We're all good.
Yeah. By the way, I think I sang that song unchecked. Did it sound weird?
A little bit, but I didn't want to bug you because it's just too beautiful a song. But it still came out good. I was not going to be the angel jumping up in the middle of that beautiful song.
Thanks.
But he had to play a song. It was the weekend before this whole COVID, before we all shut down, and he played his first show ever in Oshawa. His grandmother had never seen him, and he wanted to play something. My father-in-law has been very ill, and he wanted to play something for his no. And the first song that came to mind was "Hold On," and he learned that. And I tell you, there wasn't a dry eye in the joint, including my no.
Well,
my mother-in-law.
I love the version he did on when he was doing his home concerts, and I said it was kind of it was like a Steve Earle version of that song.
Yeah, that's what you said.
Cool to hear, your song being sung by someone. Rick as a Nashville songwriter has heard that more than I've had it a few times. I've heard people sing my songs, but when you write something and hear someone else take it to a different level or a different angle,
awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I got to tell you guys, this they've all been great shows. I don't want to say anyone's better than the other because we've had so many amazing singer-songwriters, but this was a dynamite show. The amount of people watching, the remarks. I'm sitting back here, like I say every week. Here I am in my little music room, and I'm watching and listening to stories and songwriters. I could do this all night. I mean, people can go home and we could just keep playing if you want. I still got half a bottle of scotch.
I'm gonna say, how big is that bottle there, Dave?
I've been drinking club soda in between. I don't want to, the last show wasn't good, but there's a few things I want to bring up. First of all, you brought it up, and I'm glad you brought it up first because it's I could never say it the way you did, but Light of Day. There's been a lot of people that meant a lot to us. That when we look at Light of Day, I think of Rick, I think of you, I think of Grushecki, I think of Willie Nile, Bob Benjamin, Tony Pellegrossi. I think of the Mad Hatters and all the people down here, that have played. One of the people that I know my old man loved them, and everybody loved him. But my dad used to say, "Wow, did you see him? Did you see those faces he's made?" He just loved him. And it's been 5 years, and damn, we miss Mr. Lou. And Mr. Lou was one of the nicest guys you'll ever meet. And honestly, when this is all over at some time, when I look back, I'll always think of Lou when I think of Light of Day. He was that special to everyone.
I couldn't have said that any better. He was a great ambassador for Light of Day.
Yes, he was.
He was a great ambassador from Stone Caravan and myself, and a great ambassador for musicians, but mostly for kindness and love.
Well, see, and that's the thing. When I was like a kid in the candy store with you guys when this started, right? I mean, now it's like, Joe Darso, Willie now. I know that's no big deal. But I'm only kidding. But back then, I look at I had stars in my eyes, and Lou made you feel like you were the star, not him. And I'm like, no, Lou, you're the star. But I love you, brother. I love you, brother. And he was always so kind, and I miss him. There's a lot of people we lost along the way, but that one there was a tough one, and we miss you, Mr. Lou.
I couldn't have said that again any better, Dave. But one of the things I do want to say about Bob Benjamin before we depart is never in a million years did he think it'd turn into what it has in Canada and New Jersey, let alone the European stuff in Australia. But there are so many friendships that go so deep, marriages. There's been children born that people have met from Light of Day, various Light of Day shows and events. And if he never would have got up off his butt and did something, that never would have happened. But talk about just so much goodness coming from a real tough, a bad break, as Michael J. Fox had said, that him and Bob got a bad break. And it's really incredible as a testament to not giving up and trying to do good, and just never know what's going to come out of it. That ripple effect. Never could have imagined that.
You guys do incredible work. I talk to Tony a lot, and I'm baffled at how you do it and how much you do and how you do it so effortlessly. And I know I get some accolades here and there, but I know it's the committee. And it's the people that work hard. And there's so many people that work hard behind your scenes. And it's been an honor. I saw Jake in the background. We have a little private chat, and he said it's an honor to be playing with you guys. And Jake, first of all, welcome to the familia, as Joe and I would say. Right? You're part of the familia now.
Hey, Jake, we can just take the N off the end of your name and then I'll end in a vowel, and you're
Math-
fine.
So there we go. You're good. You're part of the crew. We're part of the crew. But I mean, Jake fits in
Rick
perfectly.
is Rick Rose. Rick Rose. You know?
Rick's Italian through and through. But you know, one of the things, Joe, that Jake, you'll appreciate this, and Rick, Rick's been part of it. We're Light of Day Canada, but we've had a lot of American bands, and one of the reasons, and you know, my committee used to say all the time, you know, oh, come on, David, what this band. But what would happen is I'd go down to New Jersey, me and Mike or whoever, we'd all go down there, and I'd see so many unbelievable bands, and some of them you never heard before. You know, like I met Jason Heath and the Greedy Souls, the back of the Stone Pony. You know, we you know, sitting there, you know, drinking and talking to the drummer, and I met Jason Federici, and they were just great guys. And I watched them play, and I'm like, I never heard them, but we got to get these guys. And then, you know, there was Botchagaloop, and there's John Eddy, and all these guys, and you see them, and you go, I got to bring them back to Canada. People got to see these guys, right? And you know, and Jake, I'll be honest, you're one of them. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah. No, you sound great.
Okay, something's going wrong in my headphones. But you know, Jake, you fall into that category too. You know, and I wanted people. That's why I like this type of setup. I want people to hear these great songwriters that are out there that maybe don't get heard by so many people. There, you know, like Taylor Davis was on the show, and Jacob Daniel last time, and now you. And you know, there's some kid named Evan O'Cella. I don't know how he got on the show, but he ended no. But you know, you want to bring, and we've got some different people coming up for season 2, and you know, you've got the veterans like Rick and Joe, and Willie's going to be on the show, and Miss Emily. But it's all these great songwriters, and you just wish you could bring everybody here, right?
Hey, Dave, let me interject for a second. You know, I guess it was 2 Julys ago or about there. You know, as a kid, I'd worked for Bon Jovi, but I hadn't seen Bon Jovi live in years. I just, you know, was not something that I was, you know, nothing against Johnny's fantastic performer, entertainer, but just, you know, not something I would run to. But I did that night because our Light of Day brother, who was a little kid, used to carry the guitars, be the roadie on stage. Bobby Mahoney was now the opening act at the 15,000 seat. You know, and I myself,
that was unbelievable.
I bought 4 tickets, my wife and my kids, and we sat, you know, the seats behind the stage, and I just sat there, you know, not saying it was but feeling as proud as if it was almost your son playing. It was nice watching this thing that we started a long time ago and nurtured through all the different friendships. You know, the Mahonies being great folks and and then becoming friends with all the Pittsburgh, you know, Jamie and Danny, and just. It's Light of Day has been a really a special part of our life, and you've been such a big part of that. And again, I toss that back to Bob. If Bob doesn't take that first step, none of this. It's really incredible. So, I guess I'll end my little speech here by just saying, if people are thinking about doing something, don't worry about failing, because you just never know. You just never know. You know, we see it right here. It happened.
It started with a birthday party.
There was no birthday party and visits by Santa Claus. You know?
Now, Joe, I couldn't come up with the numbers. Can you please tell everybody how many places Light of Day is in now? How many countries?
So when we do when we're in November to December, we do 16 shows, and we cover anywhere from 9 to 11 countries. When we do that, it's usually the ones we did last time, and we kind of just go right across. You know, we take the shortest flight from New York to Ireland, so we'll go Ireland, Scotland, England, and then Switzerland, Italy, Germany, Belgium, Netherlands. Did I say Germany? Sweden, Denmark, Norway. So that's that's awesome. And then it's, you know, we have a sister. I guess there's a twin city called Ocean Grove, Australia. And then there's the shows in Australia. Obviously, what you guys do in Canada, but even Light of Day Winterfest, which is really Winterfest is Asbury Park Thursday through the Monday. But then there's Light of Day New York City. Philadelphia has become a prime. You know, we're now playing City Winery and beautiful venues like that. New York City, and then Rockland County. The last couple of years, we've been doing a show at a great little theater in Rockland County. So yeah, it just keeps on spreading, and we get so many invitations to do it other places. but we try and keep it in a certain period of time because, a lot of the people we're working with, sans Bruce, are working singer-songwriters that you can't keep on asking these people to play for free or just for expenses because they have to make their living the other 10 months out of the year. So, between Why Hunger and Light of Day, when people see their phone and my name comes up, I'm sure they probably run for the hills like, oh, no, he's going to ask me to play for free. But I'm hoping over the years of my songwriter series and Rockland Bergen Music Festival, they don't know which one it is, so they have to pick it up.
and it's funny because you play them all. And you're part of all of them, and that's why we say Mr. Light of Day. We're not kidding, because yes, Bob Benjamin. that's the face, and he started it, and we love Bob, and we do this for Bob and for people like Bob. But Joey, the amount of work you do and what you've done is,
and I'll say one of the reasons, besides the friendship there and everything else, was in 1996 I put out Mirror Shoestring Credit Cards, was my fourth record, and Bob and I did that together, and that started opening more doors, and I left my day job. And then I toured in 98 and I was going to different countries and it was all smaller. But one of the things that Bob did for me in 2001, I'm forever grateful, was in 2001, I did 2 solo acoustic support slots with Southside Johnny in the UK, which really allowed a whole other audience to come into play for me. And then he also landed me on a tour that had no opening acts through Nils and Nils Lofgren's manager. Nils gave me 9 theater dates in North Ireland, Ireland, and the UK, where I'm walking into these beautiful sold-out theaters. I was playing a short set, but that was all in 2001. So that I'm forever grateful for that alone, because there's a lot of great songwriters out there, or a lot of good, solid songwriters and musicians out there, and sometimes doors get open, sometimes they don't. So I just have to. I'm always very grateful for Bob for opening those doors for me.
Yeah, definitely. Jake, how'd you enjoy the show, Jaker?
Oh, the honor of a lifetime. Again, Joe's song, Hold On, just like you said, seeing it this past winter at the Paramount, it just cut right through me then, and it cut right through me again tonight. I just get teary-eyed just every time you play it, Joe. So to be on playing with you and Rick, absolute legends. People have been doing this for a very long time at a very high level. It just means the world to me, and to do it for Light of Day on top of that, to be able to raise money for Parkinson's, it means a lot to me. So I'm so honored that you guys had me on. I just can't thank Dave enough, and both of you. And I think there was a comment that flashed across the screen. Charles had said, mask up so we can do this again, in Asbury Park, in Niagara, in Canada, in Europe, in wherever. We got to get back out there. So
awesome.
And I wouldn't argue with Charles. He's a big dude.
Yeah, he's a little guy. Ricky, again, I have to say thank you for all you've done for Light of Day, and
you're very welcome.
It wouldn't have happened without you. We were 2 scared young guys trying to put on a concert and didn't know what the hell we were doing, and we went to the pro to help us out. So first of all, thank you, but thank you for the great songs, Rick, and I mean that. I listening to those songs today, they're part of Niagara. You listen to those songs, Saturday Night in the Sunset Town, A Rude Awakening, and I'm at home, listening to that.
Thank
Rick,
you.
You're a great songwriter, and anything you want to add before we close up this show?
Just want to let Jake know that Minnesota North Stars had the coolest hockey jersey.
Yes,
in the 70s.
I agree 100%.
I have a hat right up there.
I'm a Canadians fan, but Cesar Mediego and all them, they were so cool.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. That was the greatest.
State of hockey.
What a goal he was.
And the Los Angeles Kings original jersey they were awesome design, basically. That's all I want to say. Being from Minnesota. That's where you're from Minnesota.
Now, do you guys, I kind of asked, and I was going to put together these slides, and it just slipped my mind. I apologize. Do you guys have anything you got to pump? Any shows coming up? Joe, start with you.
Before I pump the shows, I just want to say to Jake, when we're off camera later on or tomorrow, I'm friends with GB Layton, Paul Metza, speaking of Minneapolis guys. Yeah,
Cool.
another two
Awesome.
good songwriter guys from your town just hit me. Yeah, I'm doing my first outdoor little show. The town, Park Ridge in Bergen County, New Jersey, right on the border of the two towns, of the two counties. I've asked me to do something solo acoustic outdoors on Thursday, August 27th. So they're gonna just it's a little train station, a gazebo that it's socially distant. And then on September 12th, I'm doing a house concert series. Molly's down in Linden. That again, she's doing it very few people, socially distant. So,
Yep.
And then I'm doing a people-to-people fundraiser that day as well. I'm setting up some music for them. Yeah, I'm just kind of slowly trying to come out of the hibernation, like I said. And
Yep.
I thank you, Dave, for again putting this together because I wasn't playing much and I wasn't singing much, and I felt my voice was getting small.
Mhm.
And then besides writing a few new songs, trying to get ready for this, I learned the last John Prine song.
Oh wow.
I remember everything.
Yeah.
I learned "Flaming Star" by Elvis this week. And more importantly, finally got under my belt "Downtown Train" by Tom
Oh,
Waits.
awesome song.
Oh,
Awesome song.
you mean Evan beat you to that one? No way.
Yes, he did. I could just never. There's a little formula there that I just couldn't figure out, and I finally got it. So.
Oh, I'm sure you did.
Rod Stewart's version is amazing.
Yes,
One of
it
my
is.
favorite songs.
Well, thank you again, Dave.
Thanks,
Ricky,
Dave.
Ricky,
Yeah,
anything coming up? Anything
yeah.
with the school?
I have a show with Ryan Lunn.
Yes.
I think it's
Sunday.
Sunday. He's an amazing songwriter.
We're going to be there.
Oh, he's awesome. I mean,
Cool.
he's a great guy. Him and Jill, and
We got to get Ryan on the show.
yeah, you do, because when you guys hear this guy's voice, it's like Johnny Reed meets Bruce. Like he's just
I've heard him. He's
great.
fantastic.
Yeah, it's fantastic. So I'm doing that, and then I don't know. Maybe we'll keep doing some more creative things. Maybe.
But the school's reopening.
Yep, the school's reopening same day that regular school opens.
Yep.
Marketing will start on that, and basically.
Great. He does a great job. He's got a great place down there. I know Evan was on the radio station that you got. What's that called? The Q?
4680 Q.
Yeah.
We got some great hosts and podcasts.
Dave, great work. And Jake, anything coming up?
I just got to mention again. I've started work on an album with Danny Gochner and Joe Monroe out in Pittsburgh. So we've been working as hard as we can, at least COVID style, sending ideas back and forth. And it's not exactly like it's easy to go out there and do some recording, but we've done what we can, and we've got a single that's gonna come out pretty soon, hopefully, if I can get the vocals recorded. And other than that, I just if people can go on Jake Mathison Music on Facebook, Jake Mathison Music, and give it a like, it would really help me out. You don't have to, but I'd love to have you on there and to be able to connect with you that way. Other than that, I'm just so honored to have played with you all, and so thankful, and long live Light of Day.
You know what, guys? Here's a testament to you guys. We've got the same amount of people almost watching the show with all this talking. Nobody's left. People are enjoying your stories. So it's been a fantastic night. I really appreciate you guys doing the rehearsals and my little OCD stuff that I get you on there because you want it to sound good, and it did. You guys did a great job.
Awesome.
So thank you, guys. I love you guys. Stay safe, and like Charles said, mask up, and we'll talk to you guys soon because there is going to be a light of day, and we're going to need you.
Absolutely.
Have a good night, everyone. Thanks.
Yeah.
Good night, everybody.
Well, what a show that was, folks. What a show. Honestly, I mean, every show has been great in season 1. Our episode 1. Oh, let me get rid of this little banner here. Episode 1 was with Evan Rotella, Bobby Mahoney, and Jared Clements. Some amazing original music there. Really enjoyed it. Episode 2. One of my favorite albums of all time, Despair of Summer, Danny Gochnar, Jason Heath from Jason Heath and the Greedy Souls with Jason Federici, and our new friend Taylor Davis, who writes some dynamite songs. That song Gone is just one of my favorites. And last time out, we had Kent Nicholson, Miss Emily from Kingston. Both of them knocked it out of the park. And this young guy, well, he's young compared to me, Jacob Daniel, what a songwriter. Ogres Love Onions. Still can't get that out of my head. Great song. And our boys tonight put on one hell of a show. Jake actually mentioned it, and I forgot to earlier, but I did bring up their tip jars, if you can, but also follow these guys, follow them on Facebook, on Instagram, give them a like, check them out. They're going to be posting new music, and find out where they're playing, and everybody go out and support our artists. The venues I see in the States that they're trying to pass some legislation to get some funding for these venues. We don't want these venues to go under. We don't want these musicians not to have any money, and we need to keep these guys going. So support any way you can. Buy merchandise. Download their songs on Apple. Don't just play them on Spotify. Play them on Spotify. Buy their CDs. Pay for the downloads. Do what you can to help these guys out. It's their job. It's what they do. And they've done such a great job, and they do it with their heart. And one thing I've loved about Light of Day, and you can see it. Just watch the shows, and you'll see these people all have huge hearts. There's not one of them that doesn't. There's not a lot of people that go play Light of Day and they're jerks. They're all great people with big hearts, and they're giving, and they do this stuff for nothing or next to nothing. And I just wanted to do something, hopefully, to help a little bit. It's not a lot. We got some sponsorship. If you own a business and you would like to sponsor some of our shows coming up, I'd really appreciate it. Inbox me, dave@theanima.com. Just send me an email. I really, really appreciate it. Yeah, Thursday nights have been fun. We're ending season 1 tonight. Going to take a little break at summertime, and there's lots going on. Going to take a little break. One more time, I want to say how much we miss you, Lou. Great guy. Got me choked up a little there, but season 2 is coming. Season 2 is coming. Episode 1. September 3rd. It's an all Niagara show. These guys have played Light of Day. They're all dynamite in their own right. Frankie Pietrangelo has been doing this amazing show called Isolation Station. Frankie can play pretty well anything you want. You ask him for a Jackson Brown Bruce song, whatever, he'll play it. He's going to be playing some originals. Anthony DiCarlo, great friend of ours. I love Anthony. He's been Evan's teacher for many, many years, and he's been a Light of Day supporter. And the great Dave Rave. Teenage Head, he's going to be playing, and I know Dave and Joe Durso played together, and I think they did Shake It, and it was one of the highlights of our Light of Day shows. And then episode 2, it'll be 2 weeks after that, September 17th. Stephen Stanley, a great singer-songwriter, a friend of Charles Harrison's. He's going to be on the show. He's fantastic. Wait till you hear him. Johnny Pie is going to be on. Johnny Paisano. I don't know if he'll be able to jump up and do a splits or jump off anything, but he is. I've seen some of his live shows. They're fantastic. And of course, the great Willie Nile. You don't get much better than Willie Nile. So that I'm looking forward to those shows. These shows have been fantastic, and I appreciate all the people that have come out and supported. I want to do a few shout outs. I'm going to forget people, but there's Danny and Jamie, and there's Charles and Kathy, there's John Borden, there's Lou, there's Gene, there's Frankie Spatz, there's Jen across the street. She's over there. I can hear her singing from here. So many people, I know I'm missing people that have been watching all of our shows and commenting, and Barb, but not only this, but they go out to the Light of Day shows. They in New Jersey and Niagara Falls, and Toronto and Kingston, and we say without the artists, and we get accolades, but if it wasn't for you people watching and purchasing tickets and supporting year after year, I know the benefit is you get great music, but it's come out of your pockets, and you've supported, and you've done so many great things. And I know Joe Durso would want to thank y'all too, because you guys drive. We've driven people in buses from here down there over the years, and we still go down there. And one of the highlights I had was Frankie Spatz meeting Bruce this year. That was fantastic, and thank to Danny and Joey G for that. So that's it. That's season 1. It's a wrap. It's been fun. I'm having a great time. I think you can tell that. I have a great time. Not just the scotch, it's the music. This is what I do. This is what I love. And so I'm, like I said, a kid in a candy store. Charles Harrison probably said it the best when he said in his little comment to mask up, folks. I miss it. I miss the live music. This is fun. It's been great. Doing the shows with Evan's been awesome, and watching all the shows, seeing Todd Snyder and Joe Grishecki and Jesse Mallon and all these people play, but it's not the same. And we want to get to watching some live shows. I can't believe the amount of shows I've missed and my tickets that I've haven't had to give back. And You know, we lost John Prine during all this, and we were supposed to see him. And we got to get back to normal. And if we're not going to do it, if we don't just all pitch in, wear our masks, socially distance, wash our hands, they're not asking us to strap on an AK-47 and go to the other side of the world and fight. We just have to be smart, you know. And I hope we can do it. I'm doing my best, and I know the guys that on here, that's what they're doing, and they just want to play again. And it's slowly getting there, but we still got to work hard. So, folks, be safe. We're going to take a month off. We'll be back for season 2 with these guys right here, September 3rd. I hope to see you there. You know, you're going to hear from me on Facebook, right? I'm on there all the time, dropping the ads. But I appreciate you guys supporting. It was a great audience tonight. But then again, we had a great show, and we had 3 great singer-songwriters who, man, they blew me out of the water tonight. So thanks to our songwriters tonight. Thanks to you for coming out. I really appreciate it. I'll see you guys I think the band was The Happenings. We'll see you in September. Thanks, folks. Have a great night. We'll talk to you soon.